So this is going to be a shorter episode of Flying 5, and it is about batteries. Woohoo! So all the batteries that we're going to be talking about today are LiPo batteries. That's lithium polymer, and these are the only thing that I use in my airplanes. Now first we're going to cover battery voltage. Now battery voltage for LiPo batteries, each cell that the battery has is 3.4 volts. Now, basically, LiPo batteries are made of different cells. As you can see here on this GenAce 2-cell LiPo battery, it has two cells because you can see one cell, two cell. And if each cell is 3.7 volts, which it is, each cell is 3.7 volts, so that makes the total voltage of this battery 7.4 volts. So, for example, this is a 3-cell battery, and its voltage is 11.1 volts because it has 3 cells. So 3.7, which is the voltage of each cell times 3 is 11.1. So that's the voltage of the batteries. Common battery to use on remote control airplanes is a 3-cell battery, but with some smaller motors or some of the smaller faster motors, a 3-cell battery would burn them out. So this is a 2-cell battery. These are also probably the second most common batteries. The less voltage the battery has, the less power the airplane's going to have. So for example, if you had a 6-cell battery, that would probably be used for like a super fast jet plane or something. And if you had a 2-cell battery, that would probably be used for a super slow flying light plane. Now we're going to cover the milliamp hours. This is commonly referred to as mAh on the battery. And it's also, see, as you can see right here, it says 1300 mAh right there is where it says it. So what this refers to is the capacity of the battery, or how much energy it can store. Now, a smaller battery like this, 1300 milliamp hours, that's actually 1.3 amp hours. See, and on these Turnigy batteries, it actually says 0.5 amp hours, so that's 500 milliamp hours. So this, you use this number mainly when you're charging the battery or just choosing the right battery for your plane. So obviously for a smaller plane, as we'll use this one as an example, for a smaller plane I'd probably use a battery that has a smaller milliamp hour rating, like 1000 milliamp hours, 1000 mAh. And for a bigger plane like this one, I'd go with a 5000 milliamp hour battery. This is a 2-cell battery right here, so it's 7.4 volts. So this battery would fly a plane for a long time because it has a lot of capacity. You can see the size differences here. The bigger capacity batteries are a lot larger also. So now we're going to talk about the C rating. Now what the C rating means is how much power the battery can give out safely without getting puffy or over discharging or something like that. So we're going to take a look at the battery, and it says 2-cell, so that's the voltage, 2-cell battery, and then it says 25C right there. Now the C rating, I already said what that means, but basically the lower the C rating you have, the less power the battery will give out safely. Now if you have a battery that's, let's say, 20C, so it doesn't give out too much power that fast, and you put it on a motor, you use it with a motor that draws a ton of power, chances are that battery is going to get kind of puffy and heat up a lot. For example, I have this remote control car and I was using these batteries with it, and they'd puff up a lot because I was pulling way too much power out of them. So if the battery gets puffy or something like that, you probably aren't going to want to use it anymore. You're going to want to toss it or something. So anyways, this battery right here is 20 to 30C. So it will give off quite a bit of power. This will run some big motors fine. These are pretty nice. This is a 20 to 50C, so this will give off a lot of power. So basically, the bigger the C rating, the more power the battery can give out, the kind of more just the bigger motor you can use with the battery. Some of the really fast jets and stuff, they use like a 100C battery because the duct fans are pulling a lot of power from the batteries. And some of the light floaty planes like this one, they'll use a 20 to 15C battery. Now we're going to talk about charging your LiPo batteries. This is just a turn-key charger. It's pretty common. It's got it's a smart charger, so you can change all the settings. Now when you're charging your battery, the first thing you want to look at is the voltage. So as you can see, this one is a 3-cell because they colored in the little dot that says 3-cell right there. So this is a 3-cell 11.1 volt battery. So the first thing you want to do is change the setting on the battery charger to 3-cell. See that? 11.1 volts, 3-cell. And then you want to change your charger to the right amp rating. So as you can see, this battery is 2.2 amps, and that's also 2200 milliamp hours. So you're never, here's the thing to remember, when you're charging your battery, you never want to go over 2.2 amps. So let's say I was going here, I was changing my settings. Here's the how many amps I want to charge it at. Now the max I would be able to charge this battery at is 2.2 amps. I would never want to go above that. Now you can go under 2.2 amps. Like you can charge it, this will be a really slow charge, and up when you're charging closer to 2.2 amps, that would be a really fast charge. Now I personally never charge my batteries at the capacity that they have, because that can shorten the life of your battery. So I would probably charge this battery at probably about 1.8 amps or just something like that. Another thing is that if you charge your battery with at a too many amps, it'll puff up and possibly light on fire. So for this smaller battery, it's a 3-cell 0.5 amp. I could charge this one at 0.5 amps. So whoops, I just went away. But anyways, I could charge this one at, as you can see, 0.5. You never want to go over that. Stay under 0.5 amps. So I could go 0.3 or something, 0.2, 0.4 would work. So that's basically how to charge the batteries. So now we'll cover a little LiPo battery safety. These batteries are pretty dangerous, so it's good to be very cautious with them. The first thing that I do to make sure my house doesn't light on fire is keep my batteries in this safe. This was on sale at Walmart for like 15 bucks, so I bought it. And you open it up and see a bunch of batteries in there. So that's where I keep my batteries. That's basically all I do for safety. So yeah. Now what I forgot to cover there is balancing your battery. So you'll notice this other wire that comes out here, and this is the balancing plug. Now what this is for is sometimes when you're using your battery, the cells get discharged unevenly. So for example, there could be like 3.7 volts in one cell, and maybe 3.6 volts in the other cell, and like 3.4 volts in the other cell. So what balancing your battery does is put the same amount of voltage in each cell. Now, most of the chargers come with balancing ports, so you just plug your battery in and go to LiPo balance like that, and you just select the right settings and then balance your battery. So I do that about once every 10 times I use the battery, and that makes sure that my batteries will have a long and good life. So that was that episode of Fly in 5. I hope you enjoyed something. I'm going to put these batteries that have been charged into my safe so that they can be safe. And it's all closed. Unplug my charger here, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of Fly in 5. Signing off, this is Daniel. Adios.